So I was watching the State of the Culture because I wanted to hear about some other people's opinions on the Michael Jordan documentary. I thought it'd be nice to hear an opinion outside of the sports world. But before I got to their opinions, I had actually discovered something incredible. Actually, it's more like I got put onto some game.
Good. I'm glad to see you showing the wealth, and you have a different background every time I see you now. You're in front of like some comic book chart.
Nigga said a
Like,
chart.
do you have a bunk? Do you have a bunk bed?
Nah. This is actually a Hebru Brantley. I'm gonna leave it at that. You can Google it.
I got to thinking to myself, what the heck is a Hebru Brantley? Long story short, Hebru Brantley is a visual artist rooted in Southside Chicago. Now, I'm fairly certain that I'm not an art aficionado. Maybe. Probably not. But Brantley has some of the best pieces of art I've ever seen. I'm a bit disappointed I never actually ran into his stuff before, but thank God I did. I mean, look at this. If you guys could visualize my childhood imagination, this is about as close as it gets. I used to love comic books, superheroes, cartoons, and sports. And if I'm all the way honest, I'm still in love with all of these things. And when done correctly at a high level, they can be considered fine art. They're ultimately creating stories of hope and redemption and courage, and by and large, these mediums frequently portrayed the ultimate heroes, like the true heavy hitters, as mainly white males. I mean, DC's Trinity is all white. The Justice League's main roster apparently can only manage one black guy at a time. You either have this brother right here, or you get this one who is half human. And what about Black Panther? Don't get me started on Marvel. This is what makes Brantley so unique and inspiring. He effectively and affectionately captures the essence of what it means to be a black child in the United States. The totality of his work consists of creating this universe where kids are free to imagine to be whatever they want. Not poorly written sidekicks, not thugs, not overly sexualized players and pimps, and certainly not super predators. His iconic characters FLYBOY and Little Mama are the culmination of childlike imagination and the black identity. It's clear his intentions is to make little black boys and girls look heroic and courageous.
FLYBOY kind of originated from the idea that like there was no people of color in that popular space. Like, when you think of Mickey and Donald and, some of those characters. And so I just looked through history, man, and I think like some of the most prominent times obviously was during segregation and World War II, more especially like the Tuskegee Airmen. Mm-hmm. And, so I just created a character and sort of presupposed that this kid existed sort of in that pantheon of all these other cartoon characters, and I just use him in all my paintings, things like that, to kind of push the narrative.
As if to say that they can achieve anything if they set their mind to it. I would have loved to see this growing up. Okay, so peep the statements from his website. Hebru Brantley creates narrative-driven work revolving around his conceptualized, iconic characters which are utilized to address complex ideas around nostalgia, the mental psyche, power, and hope. The color palettes, pop art motifs, and characters themselves create accessibility around Brantley's layered and multifaceted beliefs. Majorly influenced by the South Side of Chicago's Afro-Cobra movement in the 1960s and 70s, Brantley uses the lineage of mural and graffiti work as a frame to explore his inquiries. Brantley applies a plethora of mediums from oil, acrylic, watercolor, and spray paint to non-traditional mediums such as coffee and tea. Brantley's work challenges the traditional view of the hero or protagonist, and his work insists on contemporary and distinct narratives that shapes and impacts the viewer's gaze. So basically, he is intentionally telling us a story of the black experience we have yet to see fully conceptualized. I mean, honestly, this is a form of protest, a form of revolt, in the name of liberation against systematic racism and oppression. We ought to be staunch supporters of this kind of work. And dude is not just alright. Dude is nice. Like, he's internationally recognized, and he's done collaborations with Jordan Brand and Adidas, among several others. And not to mention, his work is collected by some elite names: LeBron James, Jay-Z, Beyonce, George Lucas. Yeah, that George Lucas. Brantley is a whole legend out here, and we can't afford to miss out on his incredible work artists like him and others are producing. You can check out more of his work on his website. Go peep some of his interviews, which will be listed down below. And if you ever get the opportunity to go to one of his pop-up shows or galleries, definitely take advantage of that. Alright, I'm about to head out. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Also, please put your thoughts into the comment section and let me know what you think about Brantley's work. Alright guys, peace.